I feel like we're in a society where we're so disconnected from ourselves, we're so disconnected from God, we're so disconnected from the higher power who has created us and given us this life, this consciousness, this world. And I feel like if a lot of us just brought ourselves down to the ground, and what I mean by that is like a lot of us are just so high on ego. Like you see it, I see it every day in the streets. I just see so many people full of ego, full of anger, full of hatred, full of resentment, full of just division. And I'm just like, how could you be lacking so much love? Like, it's just so sad when you see so many people suffering, so many people suffering internally, just even because of like the conditions that they've created for themselves or the conditions that society has imposed on them. And I feel like all of that would be solved if you really just surrendered yourself and like give your life to God. And if you don't believe in God, that's cool. Like, it doesn't have to be God, but just the higher power that has created us, has given us everything around us, that has given us the life in our body, that has given us the soul in our body. Like, we're just all so connected and we're all one. And like, a lot of us don't even realize that. And we just think we're just divided, but the reality is we're not divided. And we're all a part of God or the universe, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna call it God because I believe in God. But yeah, I feel like if you really surrender yourself and just slowly start to like take a step back and slowly like diminish your ego, diminish that hot air in your head, and just truly appreciate the life around you. And you know, whether it's something as simple as the leaves on the trees, the birds that be chirping in the morning, or your family or your friends, and just seeing the beauty in everything. And if you're struggling with anything in your life as well, like I advise you to just call on God in your life. Call on God when you need him. Open your arms to him. And it's okay if like you've never thought of God before, if you've never, you know, understood God. Like, just any point, any time in your life is a really good point to call on God, because God is always there. He's always listening. All he does is have love for you. Like, he's just waiting for you to realize him and realize he's been there all along, and just surrender to him and talk to him, ask him questions, ask him for guidance, ask him for help. Like, if you're struggling with anything in your life, God will help you. Like, God will literally give you the strength to overcome whatever it is you're going through in your life. And I know it can be scary, like talking to God if you've never like talking to him before, but you know, just have a clean heart, have an open heart, and truly just like pour yourself into him. And he's always listening, he's always watching over you, he's always guiding you. And just hand over yourself to him, because we're all just walking around like so high in our heads without truly just like giving thanks to the higher power that created us, to everything around us. Everything around us is a creation of God. God literally created everything around us. He is everything around us, and that's what we don't really realize. But if you're going through anything, if you're going through pain, if you're going through heartache, like if you're going through addiction, if you're going through abuse, whatever it is, just know that God will pull you out of it. And everything in your life is a test. Everything in your life is there for you to overcome, for you to build, to get stronger, and learn from the experience. So don't take it personally. I know it might be really hard. I've had my fair share of things that I went through in my life. But God has pulled me out every single time. Like, I remember one time I went through a really bad heartbreak, and I thought I was gonna marry this person, and I sort of remember just thinking, like, praying to God, like, God, if you could take away this thing that I thought was so good for me, but I was actually delusional, it wasn't really good for me. If you could take away this thing that is so good for me, I truly know you have something better for me than this relationship that I thought was so amazing. And it turns out, guess what? There was something better for me after that relationship. And God really pulled me through that, and God sees things that you don't see. And he saw that like it just wasn't it for me. He knew I deserved better than that. He knew I needed to get over that and like heal whatever I needed to heal to like move on and become a stronger person. And I am a completely different person after that. And that's just one example of how God really works in mysterious ways. And no matter what you're going through, like, ask God for your help. If you need the help, ask God for help. If you're struggling with addiction, ask God to help you overcome your addiction. Like, God like really spoke to me and has been pulling me through this whole time. And like, I've even had experiences like in my dreams where like I understand that God is going to help me overcome these things that are holding me back. And just understanding that he's always there for you. He's always listening. He's always ready. He's just literally waiting for you there, waiting for you to love him, waiting for you to realize him. And I feel like once you develop a relationship with God, like, you won't feel as alone anymore. You will have someone to talk to when there's no one there. God is always there. And you just have to trust and put faith in him and truly just open your heart to him and just talk to him with an open heart. Because if you're talking to him with like no belief in him, like, he's not going to listen to you. Like, you truly have to like put your whole heart into it, put your emotion, put your feeling into him, and he will answer you. I promise you, he will answer you. And really just let go of your ego, let go of yourself, let go of your limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs, anything that you're going through. Even if you've made a mess of yourself, God still loves you. And just ask him to help heal yourself, to help become a better version of yourself, to help release you from whatever it is that's holding you back. And once again, just put your whole heart into him and he's going to answer you. I promise.